Good morning, everybody. Today, it's Family Memories Monday, morning edition. If you can't tell, it's early in the morning. I got my coffee. We've been doing that collaboration with Vickie's Country Home. She's doing the Family Memories Monday collaboration. I'll put a link to the playlist up here. Last Monday I had done a pumpkin bread recipe, telling a little story about my son Jevin and how much he loves the pumpkin bread, and my grandma taught me how to make it. This week I'm kind of bringing back an old classic. It's not really a personal recipe, but if you buy the box now, you're not going to have the recipe on there. So I may be helping some of you out with an old classic that we like to have for breakfast in the morning. It's coffee cake. Okay, so for this coffee cake recipe, we're going to go back to the old Jiffy mix. And like I said, if you look at now, they have all kinds of recipes on there for drop biscuits, cinnamon rolls, waffles, apple crisp, all kinds of things like that. But if you notice, there's no longer coffee cake. And yes, it's been very well used. There's one change that I make to this coffee cake recipe, and I'll get to that here in a minute. So basically, if you never have gotten the older boxes, you're not going to have this recipe. So maybe I'm going to help some of you out and that you can make coffee cake. So what we're going to need is 2 cups of the Jiffy mix itself. You can also use Bisquick for this recipe. I've done that before. So I've got my 2 cups of Bisquick in here. Then we're going to need 3 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. We need 3/4 cup of milk. One egg slightly beaten, which I've already got that right here. Here's my 3/4 cup of milk. Okay, so my mom used to make this recipe for as long as I can remember. It was something we always looked forward to for breakfast. Well, one of the things I've changed is one of the things we used to fight about. When you go and get this all completed, you're going to have this cinnamon over the top, right? Well, the way that the recipe shows, it was kind of like more clumpy because you have so much butter in it. So it wasn't like a dusting over top. It was like little drops of basically, you'll find out, but it's basically butter and cinnamon. And you go and put these little clumps. We would all fight over who's going to get the most cinnamon, who gets the clumps that fall off in the center, even though it was molten lava hot. We didn't care. Everyone wanted the cinnamon. And we get up so early in the morning. It doesn't take that long to make. I mean, it takes like 25-30 minutes to bake. But when you get up and you're hungry and you smell that cinnamon, everyone wants to get it. Well, over the years, I've made it for my kids. And they all love it. And I love it too. And I love cinnamon. So what I did is I took the same recipe and I just cut the butter in half. I doubled everything else and left the butter the same. So basically that's what I'm saying by cutting it in half. So now it's like more of a dusting over top. You still have the butter so it'll melt down inside, but now you've got cinnamon that covers the whole thing. So I kind of eliminated the problem because I like cinnamon on my pieces too. Okay, so we got that all mixed together. I got the 2 cups of baking mix. I got 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3/4 cup of milk, 1 egg beaten, and it says 2 tablespoons of shortening. I actually use lard in mine. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in the pan. It's a pretty quick recipe. Like I said, a lot of people that didn't get the old Jiffy Mix boxes, you don't even know this recipe ever existed. Alright, so there's our cake base. I'm going to set that over the side. Now we're going to make our topping. And for the topping, it actually calls for 1/4 cup of sugar, but like I said, I double everything. So I'm going to use 1/2 cup of sugar. Here's my 1/2 cup sugar. It calls for 1 tablespoon of Jiffy Mix. I'm going to use 2. Here's 1. There's 2. And then it says 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So you got it. We're going to do 4. Two, 3, 4. Okay. You can also add nuts if you want. And then 2 tablespoons of melted butter, or of softened butter, sorry. So I'm going to say that's about 2 tablespoons. So we'll put that in there. It's going to get just a little loud. See, it kind of makes more of a crumble. Take the cake back, and we're just going to sprinkle this on top. And there we go, look. Cinnamon all over the whole thing, so no fighting over it. And now we're just going to put it in the oven at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. I'll bring you back when it's done. The timer just went off. Looky there. Doesn't that look yummy? And there we have it. I've got my yummy coffee cake, and I'm so excited. A cup of coffee, listening to Mozart in the background. It's a good morning. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little Family Memory Mondays morning coffee cake, or morning edition coffee cake. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, share it with your friends. I'll have the recipe down in the description. Check out the playlist and comment down below. I love reading your guys' comments. Give us a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. And don't forget, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a great day.